Hi there, and welcome to the podcast Strange Conversations. I'm your host, Yo Ang, and some of you may know me from my YouTube channel, Yo Ang, where I walk the streets of New York City live. I take you through to different events, the neighborhoods, the dining, and just life in the big city. Now, here on this podcast, we're going to be exploring and sharing those conversations that we've had, the strange, the odd, and especially the memorable. It's about the why, the where, and who we converse with, because communication is what gives us support, teaches, and helps us to understand each other just a little bit better. Now, the definition of a conversation, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a talk between two or more people where ideas and news are exchanged. Now, let me tell you, the conversations I have overheard on the subway, in a grocery store, the pharmacy, just even on the streets of the city. Some of them are just wild, amazing, and just things I never ever would have heard of. And yes, I do know the standard rule of politeness is do not eavesdrop, but come on. We live in New York City. I live in New York City, and we live in itty bitty living spaces. We don't have very much room. So when you're on the subway with 50 plus people, and you're all sitting like in inches from each other. You hear everything. And because we live in such small quarters and we are in the public all the time, there is no right or correct place to have those private conversations. So sometimes you just overhear everything. I'm just going to tell you, it's the truth. I'm going to share some of the things that I've overheard on the subway. Yes, eavesdropped conversations. That's what they are. I'm just going to admit it. It's what we all do. We love it. It's kind of like a people watching, but with a dialogue, okay? And I've heard them in the subways. I've heard them in restaurants. I've just heard them on the streets of the city. And here's the catch with all of those kind of conversations that we overhear. We never really know the ending because that person got their coffee and they walked out the door. They were getting off at, I don't know, 42nd Street, but I was continuing on to 96. Do I get out and follow them? What do I do? I want to know what ended. So you know what we do? We make up the ending in our own story. So we just make it up. That's what we do. Okay, so I found this site where it basically lists all of these conversations that were overheard, and they're just snippets. And it's kind of like the conversation that I had where a woman got on the train and another woman got on the train, and they apparently hadn't seen each other in forever. And it was like, Emily says to Barbara, "Oh my God, what have you been doing?" And then Barbara says back to Emily, "Oh, I just moved out to Queens back in March. We found a wonderful spot. And now I teach chess to rich people's children." We're just like, she teaches chess to rich people's children. And then she continued on. She's like, "Yes, I just sit in the sun all day on their, I don't know, I think she said, I want to say she said veranda, while I sip LaCroix and teach their children how to play chess." That's where you just sit there and you wonder, what in the world? But I got to tell you, the stuff you overhear. And so I'm going to read you guys a few of these things that I found online that people overhear in New York City. These are so true. I'm telling you, I have seen it happen. And I'm going to start taking notes. And I want you guys to share with me your funniest and just favorite overheard strangest conversations that you've ever heard, be it on the subway, wherever you are, at the line at the Starbucks, anything. Please do so, because that's what we're going to do here. Okay, this one. This was to a girl to boyfriend taking pictures of her. "Oh my God, these are horrible." And her boyfriend says in return, "Well, what do you want me to do? That's what you look like." Come on. Come on. You could only hear that. This is number 24. "New York is for rich people who hate themselves, and LA is for rich people who are obsessed with themselves." That is the best. In a way, very, very true. Very, 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 very true. Okay. Two very drunk girls trying to navigate the stairs. I can picture this. I can picture this at a club, and they're trying to go to the bathroom. One to the other. Okay, ready? There are stairs. Homeless man. She doesn't look ready. We've all been there, guys. We've all been there. Okay. Man in line checking out. Thank you. Have a good day. Turns to everyone in line. Have a good day, everyone. Random man in line. Jesus Christ, go back to California. That is I'm going to tell you, that was definitely from a New York line of Starbucks. Or actually, you know what I mean? Like everybody in line just wants their coffee. Please step out of line. Thank you for the greeting, but we really need to move along. How about this one? On the subway, a woman screaming at another woman. When you hit someone with your backpack, you turn around and you apologize. The other woman, oh God, take an Uber. Come on, take an Uber. Listen, it's tight quarters on the subway. You're going to get hit with the backpack. Just be aware of your surroundings and don't be that person. Now, one conversation that I overheard while I was on the subway, and this one just, I had to hold it in. I had to try not to laugh because this person said, it never fails. It just never fails. It's always raining when I'm either at work or when I'm off. And I kept thinking to myself, did they just hear what they said? It's raining when you're at work or when you're off. That's like all the time. It doesn't rain all. It's not Seattle, people. It's not Seattle. So now it's your turn. I want to hear what your strange conversation was, what you overheard. So leave me a comment. Let me know and share it with us. And until next time, this is Strange Conversation with YO Ang.